everyone, so something a bit different from me today. This is my first ever first impressions video and I am super excited. I have two samples here to try and they're both by a company called Tarte. I've never used any of their products before, but the more that I look into them, the more I want to try absolutely everything. So I've got their primer here and their foundation. My skin is freshly toned and moisturised. And I'm just going to grab, I don't usually like using primers because I just don't like what they do to my skin. But they reckon a pearl size amount, so pearls come in lots of different sizes. So I've just grabbed a kind of pea sized amount. And this feels really nice going on, it feels very smooth. Hopefully this will be a nice canvas to work from. I used a primer yesterday and it was just horrendous, so I generally don't bother with them, but this is going on nice. Doesn't feel tacky, it just feels smooth. So that's the primer done. I have no idea if I've applied that correctly. That's what it looks like in the jar. The foundation I'm praying I got the right colour. Can't remember the name of the colour that I bought, but it looks like this. And I did wonder how to apply this, but I think for the first time I'm going to use my fingers. I'm hoping to get quite a few uses out of this. It's very creamy. So yeah, I'm just going to go with fingers for today, I think, because 9 times out of 10 that's usually how I apply my foundation anyway, because I like to get a feel for it. I forgot to talk you through actually what blemishes I've got on my skin, but you probably saw them. I've got some healing spots down here, I've got a healing one here, I've got a newish one coming up here, and I've got the world's most painful but tiny spot up on my forehead. And other than that, it's just kind of pigmentation issues, and my chin area, which I really hate. This is going on really nice. The texture of it feels more like a skincare product. That's why I like applying it with my fingers to start off with, because I just really like to get a feel of how the product will feel on the skin. And I'm thinking the colour looks okay. I'm looking very pale on my viewfinder. I'm just going to do a bit more on the chin. I'm hoping this sample is going to last quite a while, because there's still a lot left. I think what I'm going to do is not use any concealer today, just to see how well it goes. It is clinging a little bit to some dry skin I've got on my chin, but I'm not too worried about that. It feels so nice. It feels like I've just applied a really nice moisturiser. I'm going to pop a little bit more under the eyes and just pop it over some areas that need a little bit more help, just to see if the coverage can be built up at all. Oh my god, that spot is so painful. I don't know whether it would feel like this on its own or whether it is the primer that's making it feel like this. I think I'll have to give it a go without the primer, just to see how it is. It does seem to be quite buildable, but it's just left me with a really nice even canvas to put the rest of my makeup on. Whoops, that was too much. A little bit does go quite a long way. I'm rushing a little bit because, what time is it? We'll be doing the preschool run in a minute. And my camera battery is going low, which is always helpful. So, that is it on. Well, my first impression is I absolutely love this. It's gone on like a dream, it felt really nice, it's not clinging anywhere. I'm just going to grab my mirror and just have a bit of a close-up. It's gone on beautifully, really beautifully. This is the most impressive foundation I think I've used in a long time, and I've tried a lot lately. I'll list all the ones in the description box that I've tried lately. I'm just trying to find that holy grail foundation. Right, I am going to put the rest of my makeup on and dry my hair, and I will be right back. Okay, so that's the rest of my makeup and hair done. I'm loving this foundation so much. I don't know if it's just the foundation or whether it's the combination of that and the primer, but I think I'll have to experiment around. I've still got loads of each left. I've got loads of the primer left and absolutely tons of the foundation. There's absolutely loads left in there, so very happy with that. I have lightly powdered over the top of it, just using my usual powder, which is this one. Just purely because usually when I go to put blusher on or anything, it kind of drags on the skin if I haven't powdered first. And this went on like a dream. Normally, my skin is already starting to feel a little bit like tacky, as I just have horrible skin. And I don't know whether that's the foundation or the primer, like I said, so I'm going to have to experiment. But my powder and blusher just went on like an absolute silky dream. So I couldn't be happier right now. If this foundation wears well for the rest of today, I'm going to be super happy, and I will definitely be buying some and probably spending a lot more money on Tarte as well, because I'm eyeing up so many things of theirs. The coverage is, I don't know if this is going to be showing up at all. It's not fantastic. I've not put any concealer on, like I said, because I just want to see how it does on its own today. Plus I'm in a bit of a rush because preschool run, blah blah blah. But so far I'm really impressed, and you know, I like a fairly natural coverage anyway. I don't like to look like I'm completely caked in something. So I will continue to check back in with you guys throughout the day just to give you an update on how it's wearing. So I will see you again later. Okay, so I've just dropped my little boy to preschool and I've just come home, and so far I'm absolutely loving this foundation. I've had this on for about an hour and it feels really smooth, and it's just beautifully soft. It's not a matte finish, it's just kind of like a really silky, satiny, smooth, gorgeous lovely skin feeling. So really happy with this so far. I will check back in with you guys later. Hi everyone, so I just thought I'd quickly check back in again. I've had this on for a couple of hours now. My skin still feels really silky smooth, just maybe ever so slightly oily on my forehead, but I'm kind of used to that because my forehead is my nemesis and it's always oily and I can never really do anything about it. Okay, so just checking back in again. I feel like I'm having quite a good hair and makeup day today, which is quite rare, doesn't often happen. Oh, I love this foundation so much. I had a funny feeling I would after, you know, researching the brand and finding out a bit more about it. It's, bearing in mind I've not got any concealer on, so this is just the foundation trying to stand up against all of the kind of stress that I am testing it under in terms of nasty spots and various other things. it's mattifying, but it's not kind of to the point where it's clinging to dry bits too badly. It is slightly in my chin area, but hey, I can live with that. I'm not expecting miracles when it comes to makeup products, because I know that I have quite difficult skin, so I can live with that. But it just feels like how your skin should be, or at least how I want my skin to feel, in terms of not weighed down. It doesn't feel like you've really got anything on your skin. It looks quite natural, so it doesn't look too flawless that people would look at you and think that you look kind of plastic or something, and that's personally the look that I sort of prefer. For me, alright, coverage is really important, but also it's how it feels on the skin, that it doesn't feel too clogged up, it doesn't feel like it's going to irritate, it just feels very lightweight. It's controlling oil really well. I'm completely bowled over by this foundation, and I wasn't expecting to necessarily feel that positive. I was hoping I would, but I went onto the Tarte website a minute ago just to have a look at all the products that I would like to buy, and I kind of virtually spent about £200 without even blinking. There are so many things of theirs I want to try. I think colour-wise I did okay, actually. I think it matches me quite well. What do you guys think? I might try another couple of samples online first before I fully commit, but I think I didn't do too badly. Okay, so I've been wandering around the house trying to find the best place to film my final thoughts, because it's the late afternoon and it's very sunny here and it's proving quite difficult, so I am now shoved up against my bedroom wall. And I'm trying to keep my arm as still as possible. So in terms of how this is worn, it has been 7.5 hours since I first put this on this morning. It still feels really nice. My skin isn't really feeling oily at all. It's ever so slightly tacky, but we're talking nothing at all, and for me that is a revelation, because that's never been the case ever before. I used to have very dry skin. I've now got extremely oily skin, particularly across my forehead, so I'm used to having to kind of blot this area a lot, and I don't know what kind of magic wizardry is in this foundation and primer, but it's working amazingly. Speaking of which, I would like to try the foundation on its own. I'd also like to try the primer with other products as well, just to see if it makes them sit any better. I'm also going to try the foundation with my beauty blender or foundation brush, again just to see if they go on any better. And maybe take my time a bit more as well, because I was in a bit of a hurry today to get out the door, but it's the weekend coming up now, so I should have a bit more time on my hands. But I am just super pleased with this. The coverage isn't as great as it was when I first put it on, but I think that's completely fair enough. It has been a long time. So some of my sort of pigmentation issues and stuff are starting to show through a little bit more, but it's definitely passable in terms of, you know, I'd quite happily go out looking like this. There have been other foundations that I've tested recently where I've got to this point in the day and I just cannot wait to take it off my skin because it just feels horrible, and that is not the case with this. I could quite happily wear this for, I don't know whether another 7 hours, but we'll have to give it a good test. We do go out very early on a Saturday morning for my little boy's swimming lessons, so I will be putting it on very early tomorrow, and it will be on even longer, so probably a good 12 hours, I would say. I feel like this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship between me and Tarte, which I'm sure my husband is going to be absolutely thrilled about. Oh God, YouTube, what have you done? You just suggest all these amazing things and then I try them, and to be fair, a lot of things I've tried I've been a bit like, whatever. This is the first time that I've really wanted to rave about something, and I've raved quite a lot. I think I'm going to have to go now because I'm getting unbelievable arm ache. So anyway, I think that concludes my first impressions of the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. It gets a massive thumbs up from me. I absolutely love it. I'm thrilled and I cannot wait to use it again. So I will see you again soon. Maybe with a Tarte product. Who knows?